Hello YouTube, this is RC67 coming at you. Today what we're going to talk about is some of the history of the Mustang. We'll keep it kind of brief so the video is not too long. But as is most muscle cars or even sports cars of today, there's a generation body changes in styles and configurations and so forth over the years. We're going to keep this pretty simple today. So in 1965, Ford introduced the Mustang at the April 1964 World's Fair. So a lot of collectors will call the mid-year 64s, they'll actually call them 64 and a halves, but really it was actually the 65 Mustang that was released. They sold 22,000 on the first day when they came to the dealerships, which was more than they anticipated. They had made several changes to the Mustang going into 65 with option packages with regarding engine size and styles and so forth. And some of those styles were the fastback, which was introduced in 65. They had a convertible as well as what's called a notchback. These were all like late 65 vehicles. They sold 681,000 through the year 1965, including the 64 and a half pony editions. They offered several variations of engine styles or sizes. 170 cubic inch straight six was the basic engine in the early mid 60s when it came out. They had a 4.0-liter V8, and they also had the 289 cubic inch V8, which put out about 271 horsepower. In 67, a lot of the dimensions changed. Engines got a little bit bigger, more powerful, 390 cubic inch. 6.4-liter V8, which put out about 355 horsepower. This is also the introduction of the Boss 302, which was a 4.9-liter V8 at about 289 horsepower. They had a drag race Mustang, which was the Cobra Jet, which was a 428 7.0-liter V8, which put out about 355 to 360 horsepower. That was the Generation 1 line. Generation 1 ran until about the late 60s into the early 70s. But again, Gen 1s, they had a lot of different models. Like I said, the Mach, the Boss, the Cobra. Some of these were special orders as well. Gen 2 came out in the early to mid 70s. There was a decline in the aggressive style on the car. So sales dropped. The cars got bigger actually through the 70s. They were very big and heavy. Horsepower dropped. So there really wasn't a whole lot the Mustang was doing in terms of appealing to the consumer. With the gas crisis going on in the mid 70s at this point, the Gen 3 came out, which is the Mustang 2. Is very compact, is much smaller, offered a little either a 4-cylinder or a V6. Didn't have a whole lot of horsepower. I think they were right around 170 to 180 horsepower. They introduced a couple of body styles. They had the Cobra 2 as well as a King Cobra, which offered a little bit more horsepower based on the package of the engine that you got with it. And that went all the way until about early to late 79 when the Gen 4s came out and they introduced what was called the Fox style. And again, variations of engine packages and styling went along with the vehicle as well. Gen 5 kind of brought back the more traditional lines of the Mustang. They called it like a jelly bean look, if you will. But they're more classic lines to the car, a little bit more appealing. Did have some power. They had a few variations on the car. But then we get into the modern day Mustang, which is what we're seeing today. They kind of went retro right around 2010 or 11. They went more retro. And these are the Mustangs we're seeing on the road today. But again, they're offering various packages. You've got your base package Mustang, which is right around a V6, right around 190 to 200 horsepower. But it's just a nice little, easy get around economical car. Then they've got the 5.0, the GT 5.0, and the GT California Specials. They've also got the Shelby Cobras as well. And all these cars, their horsepower goes up based on the packages that you buy with the car. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the basic video I've just given you on the Mustang and some of the history of it. If you like it, please add some comments. If you have any suggestions, please add some comments. Or if you have other history that you'd like to add about it that I don't know about, please feel free to add and comment as well. Thanks again. This is RC67 signing off. Thank you.